Thanksgiving Day. Story by Anne Rockwell. Pictures by Lizzy Rockwell. Have you ever done a play at school? Well, in this book, a class learns all about the first Thanksgiving Day back in 1620. And then they put on a play for their family and friends with all the facts they've learned about the first Thanksgiving Day. This book is called Thanksgiving Day, Story by Anne Rockwell. That means we call Anne the author of this book. She wrote the words. Pictures by Lizzy Rockwell. That means we can call Lizzy the illustrator. She drew the pictures for this book. This is the title page of the book. Thanksgiving Day, Story by Anne Rockwell, Pictures by Lizzy Rockwell. Do you know why we celebrate Thanksgiving? Do you know why we always eat turkey, cornbread, and cranberry sauce on Thanksgiving Day? I do. I learned why in school. Our teacher, Mrs. Madoff, read us the story of the first Thanksgiving. I like that story. At your school, do you sit in a circle and listen to your teacher read books? We learned about the Wampanoag people who were already in this land, and the pilgrims who came across the sea from England. This picture shows the Wampanoag Native Americans, and this picture shows the pilgrims who left England to find religious freedom. Pilgrim men wore tall black hats with silver buckles, and pilgrim women wore white caps. Wampanoag people wore leather headbands with feathers in them. After the story, we put on a play. I went first. I was the ship called the Mayflower. I told how I was thankful that I tossed and rolled some more, but didn't sink in the big waves far out at sea. There's the Mayflower, the boat that the Pilgrims came over from England across the Atlantic Ocean on. It was a very rough trip. Evan was a Wampanoag named Massasoit. Can you say Massasoit? He was thankful for all the wild turkeys that lived in the land his people called Massasoits. That's a big word. Can you say Massasoits? He told how one day he saw the Mayflower sailing towards his land. There's Massasoit looking out at the Atlantic Ocean, seeing the Mayflower come towards his land, and being thankful that there's wild turkeys for him to hunt. Sarah told how all the pilgrims were thankful when they finally reached land. They named a big rock Plymouth Rock after the place they came from in England. They saw lots of wild cranberries growing. That's why we eat cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving, Sarah said. She's pretending there's the rock. And there are the pilgrims praying to God, thanking him for letting them reach land in 1620 in Massasoit on what they call Plymouth Rock. Nicholas told how he was thankful for forests full of trees. The pilgrims chopped them down to build warm houses. There's a pilgrim using an axe to chop down a tree so they can build houses. Pablo was Squanto. Can you say Squanto? He was thankful that all the kernels of corn the Wampanoag people planted sprouted and grew tall and green. There's Squanto checking on his corn grown in mounds. Do you know another word for corn that the Native Americans called it? They called it maize. Can you say maize? Sam was thankful that Squanto told him wild turkeys were good to eat and taught him how to hunt them. The Pilgrims had never seen a wild turkey in England. They never tasted one either. It was delicious. There's Squanto teaching a pilgrim how to hunt for turkeys. Machikio was thankful that she and all the other pilgrims were greeted kindly by the Wampanoag people who shared the land with them. There's Machikio, and she's saying she's so glad that the pilgrims like Massasoit and Squanto were kind and friendly when they got to the new land in America. Kate was thankful that her new neighbors were peaceful pilgrims looking for a new land to live in, and not mean people looking for someone to fight with. Jessica was thankful that the beautiful land of Massachusetts had enough good things for everyone. See, there's a Native American Wampanoag woman teaching a Pilgrim woman what things are safe to eat and where to find them near the ocean. Eveline was Chief Massasoit. Now there's a difficult name. Can you say Chief Massasoit? She told how the Wampanoag and Pilgrim people shared their harvest feast one autumn day. See the Pilgrims and Wampanoags, Pilgrims and Wampanoags, Pilgrims and Wampanoags. They're all sitting down to share a feast. And their feast lasted 3 days in the fall of the year or autumn of the year. That was the first Thanksgiving. It's a story we'll never forget. It's something we celebrate every year. See, there's the boy that's telling the story, all dressed up like the Mayflower. He's called the narrator of the story. Today is our Thanksgiving holiday. We don't go to school or work today. Instead, we celebrate and are thankful at home. We eat turkey, cornbread, and cranberry sauce. We invite our family, friends, and neighbors to share our feast, just as the Pilgrims and Wampanoag people did. Do you have family or friends that come and eat at your house at Thanksgiving? Or do you go to a family or friend's house and eat there for Thanksgiving? I hope that you'll remember the Wampanoag Native Americans and the Pilgrims as you eat your Thanksgiving dinner this year. And I hope you enjoyed the book Thanksgiving Day, with story by Anne Rockwell and pictures by Lizzy Rockwell.